Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, Ireland's only answer to Harry Kane. And tonight we're bringing you a show called The Good Old Days. We have Philip, we have Arthur, and we have Simon. It should be a great history lesson for every single one of us here today. But we'll just ease into it. Philip, how are you, my man?
Good, man. Yeah, fine, David. Good to see you.
No, good to see you, man. Thanks again for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, pleasure. I'm looking forward to it.
Nah, it should be good.
We'll learn something tonight we didn't know, I'm sure, you know.
100%. Arthur, how are you keeping, my man?
Fine. I'm fine, David. Thanks for having me on. And hello, Philip and Simon. How are you?
How are you?
Very well, thanks, Arthur. Hi, Philip.
How are you?
Good.
No, look, it should be a great show, Arthur. Thanks again for doing this, and everybody. You know, Arthur's channel name is Ask Arthur. The description for his channel is in the link below. So you know, make sure you get over there throughout the show and give Arthur a subscribe. He's fully deserved of it. And Simon, how are you keeping, my man? Your Spurs story's dropping tomorrow. You looking forward to that?
I am. Yeah, very much so. Thanks for having me on, David. Much appreciated.
No. It's my pleasure having the 3 years on. You know, listening to some of the stories I know you guys have cooked up there and have hidden away in the brains. Can't wait to pick them and hear them. I really can't. But look, before we get into it, make sure everyone that's watching us smash the like on the stream. Make sure you do smash the subscribe on the channel if you're new. Also, don't be afraid to get your super chats in with your questions for the panel. If you want to share any of your memories, and it is a great way to support the channel as well. Let's welcome a few people in. We have Dtrex Kane. He says, Arthur, Simon, and Philip, please go on a rant about these players. And Levy, love your shows, David. Thank you so much, Dtrex. I really appreciate it, my man. Jordan Stevens, should be a great show. Really should be. I want to give this guy, Killian Kenny, a shout out. Big up, Killian. I hope you're keeping well. He says, big up, David. Carlo Ancelotti is managing Madrid soon. Come on, you Spurs. See you in the morning. Yeah, actually, we will touch on that quickly. Rob Quinn is in the building. Big up, Rob. Big yourself up, Killian. Big up, Jack Kanicki as well. You know, he's becoming a fan favourite on the channel already, this guy. He's absolutely smashing it. And he says, here it is. Big up, Jack. We also have Ronan O'Donnell. Hello, David and the gang. Big up, Ronan. We have Wayne Bonner. Tottenham and trophies, the good old days. 100% Wayne. 100%, my man. Big up, Killian. And we have Tin Man 007 as well. Evening, guys. Hope you're well. And Daniel Field as well. We have Josh 7 in. He says, evening, lads. Daniel Field is in the building. And Paul Markey with a super chat straight off the bat. Big up, Paul Markey. I really do appreciate it. And he says, great to see and listen to fans of my vintage and the older. Would love to hear their views on the 67 FA Cup final when Jones and Saul battered Chelsea. We're actually only speaking about that before we came on, man. You must have been listening in. But Paul, if you ever want to be involved in a show like this, man, my email is in the description below. It's at Theirishyid or Theirishyid@gmail.com. You know, feel free to email me and we'll get you on if you ever want to be a partner, man. So look, it's a great place to start from Paul here. Philip, do you want to take this away and then we'll get Arthur and Simon in on it as well, because I know it's one of Simon's favourite ever games. But Philip, 67 FA Cup final.
Yeah, I mean, I was living in Ireland now at the moment, but I was living in Birmingham at the time. I was going to school in Birmingham, and I remember I was a Spurs fan, and there was another guy in the class who was a Chelsea fan. He came up from London the year before. The rest of the class was Villa, West Brom, Wolves, the usual stuff, you know. And for about 2 weeks before the final, me and this guy, we were at it, you know, slagging each other off, and as you do with 10 years, 12 years of age or whatever, you know. And he was a fanatical Chelsea fan. Even though he was living in Birmingham, he'd go down to the home games, which I never managed to do for another 8 or 9 years after that, you know. But come the match day, of course, we all know the result, you know. And I went into school Monday morning, right, ready to go, have a go. He took the day off sick. So
that's pure shit. Housery, that man.
The moment was lost. So anyway, but like I don't, you know, the match. I mean, as far as I can remember, 2-1 was not a reflective score of what should have been. I mean, Spurs absolutely were in the ascendancy for practically the whole match until Villa. I think Chelsea got to go back late on, and then it was a bit hairy for the last 5 minutes. But like just to mention Cliff Jones there, I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen Cliff Jones recently. He's doing ambassador for the club. That guy could nearly play for the team at the moment. He's still so fit.
Yeah.
An amazing athlete at 80-something years of age, you know?
Yeah. He looks a fit guy.
He's a fit guy. Frank Saul, I haven't really heard much about him since he left Spurs. I don't know where where he went to, or he doesn't appear to be involved with the club anymore, like and Cliff Jones are, you know?
But scored a good goal. The winning goal was very good. Swiveled and put it in the corner. Good goal.
It was. They put Chelsea in their box as well because they had a decent team at that stage, Chelsea. Like Tony Haley was up front, wasn't he? And Bobby Tambling.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah.
Ron Harris, left back.
Chopper
Harris.
Yeah,
he was a dirty stone, so he was. Yeah. There's some good players to see, but we beat them.
Yeah, that was a good. That was the kind of the Mark II Spurs team after the double winning team, which kind of split up 3 or 4 years before that.
Yeah. Because I was only 10. I was only 10 then, so I only remember snippets. But obviously, I know we won 2-1. But like I said, I don't remember too much because I was only 10. But
So, I remember the carry on from that, the European Cup Winners' Cup the following season, losing 4-3 at home to Lyon and getting knocked out on away goals. That was a sickener. But the Spurs were tipped to do very well in the competition that year, you know.
Yeah.
That was the end of that, you know. 4-3 at White Hart Lane. Savage.
Yeah.
But that's my recollection of that game anyway, you know. That's.
But Jimmy Robertson
before we get back into the Cup Winners' Cup, let's hear Arthur's and Simon's thoughts here quickly on the 67 FA Cup final. So take it away. We'll go with Arthur and then on to Simon because Arthur, what's your memories on the 67 FA Cup final? Big up Paul Markey for the super chat. I really appreciate it, my man.
Yeah, much like Phillips, it was a rivalry between Spurs and Chelsea, and it was everybody got up for the game. I remember going to the game, going to a cup final for Spurs at Wembley. It's so emotional, it's so emotional. You're singing all the way. You go into a pub to have a drink and all that lot. There weren't no trouble, but you get so emotional, and then you go into Wembley and the atmosphere, when they start singing and playing all the songs, and then the players come out, and it just takes you to another level. Some Spurs supporters have never been, had that feeling of going to another level. You're at Wembley with your team and it takes you to another level, and to see them score goals, it's just incredible. You got I think Dave Mackay was still playing there, was he?
Yeah, captain. He lifted the trophy.
Yeah, Dave Mackay, he's still playing there. One of my all-time great players.
Yeah,
he's the player what brought me a glass of lemonade and a packet of crisps, what was in my story. And to see him on the pitch and knowing that he's talked to me, and it's so emotional, it's so emotional. And Cliff Jones was another great player there.
Yeah.
But as I say, I'll let Simon carry on now. Yeah. But it is so emotional. That's the feeling I get when I see Spurs at a final. It's so emotional. And then when we win, well, that's it. You're in cuckoo land. So, Simon?
Well, I was only 10 at the time, you see, so I don't remember as much as you two chaps do. So all I can really remember, obviously, we played in all white. Dave Mackay was captain. I remember the goals pretty well. Jimmy Robertson scored from outside the area. And I remember the Frank Saul goal very, very, very well when he swiveled, I think, just outside the area, and it went into the bottom right-hand corner. So there are things I do remember, but like I said, I was only 10, so there's a lot of things I don't remember. I'm more knowledgeable when we go further towards where we are now. But that was my first ever memory of Spurs winning a cup, because before then it was like the double side, and I was too young to remember that. So 67, there was bits and pieces that have sunken in. I do remember. So that's all I can really say on that, really. So yeah, I do remember playing in all white. It was 2-1, and Dave Mackay lifted the cup. You know, things like that. Yeah, and the rattle and the hand rattles all going off in the crowd. Remember all the rattles and all the balls wearing rosettes.
Was that your version of the Vuvuzela?
Yeah, Vuvuzela. That's right. Yeah. All the rattles and the rosettes and all that, and all the singing going on. I do remember all that. That was my first ever cup final. I do remember Spurs winning, and the caps. Yeah,
the old flat caps. The flat cap like David's got on. Everybody had the flat cap.
The flat. Yeah. That's right. I remember all that. Yeah, I do remember that
as well before the match. Maybe it's this guy in a white suit used to come out and conduct in the crowd.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Say that again.
This used to have this guy. He did it for 100 years. There's a platform up in the middle of the pitch with a band on the pitch, and he'd come on and conduct the crowd singing the Bible, something like that.
That's
you know.
Right. I remember that.
That was very emotional as well. You know, because it was like you want to hear it now. You know, probably be singing or something. You know, it's. But I think that was Dave Mackay's last season with Spurs. He left the following year, didn't he, to go to Derby?
Late 60s. He went off to Derby. Was it Derby?
Yeah.
Derby County. He played and ended up managing them, didn't he? After a while,
he won a league title with them, didn't he?
Yeah, they had a good team, Derby, in the 70s. I remember Derby quite well in the 70s. They had a very good team then.
Yeah.
In the 70s as well. I know Dave Mackay was there as well. So I know he went to Derby from Spurs.
Yeah.
He was a very good player at Derby as well.
He was. I think Brian Clough brought him up there.
Yeah.
Just take in a few comments here, lads. So we have Chris is in the building. Big up, Chris. We have Sean Moore and big up, Sean. He says, what a lineup. Paul Markey says, what a lot of people didn't realise, Spurs were the first English club to win a major European cup, the 1963 Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true. That's true. Yeah. We were the first ones and the first ones to do the double.
Do you guys remember much of the 1963 Cup Winners' Cup?
I remember.
My dad told me a lot about it.
All in white again. I think it was in Amsterdam or Rotterdam. It was played. It was
Atletico Madrid. They beat, wasn't it 5-1?
5-1. Yeah.
Very nice. Greaves scored.
And that was some performance. Like, I don't really remember that much about it, but this grainy picture they show on TV now and again.
Black and white pictures.
But that was the start of it. I mean, we were always the first at everything. First through the double, first non-league team to win the cup. Not first through the double, but in so many years, and first team to win the European trophy. You know,
and the first team ever to put ribbons on the FA Cup as well, way back in the day.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. First team to ever put ribbons on the FA Cup, and it's a tradition that's been held till this day.
Right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be teaching you lads. You lads should be teaching me. Come on, boys. Come on. Slacking here. Wayne Bonner says 1967, first All-London FA Cup final. Only one winner. 100% win.
That's true.
Yeah.
Lappers, do you guys remember Ralph Coates?
I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His bit of there. That's it. He used to climb his bit of there.
Came from Burnley. Also passed away now. He's not with us anymore, Ralph Coates, is he? Passed away a few years ago. But he was a very good player. Little guy, stocky, very good. He could get stuck in. And I think he scored one of the winning goals in one of our League Cup final games, I believe. He scored the winning goal.
He came from Burnley, I think.
He did come from Burnley. Yeah, there's some good players, but it's a very good team in Burnley. But Ralph Coates is a very good player. Yeah, but he had the funny, like the Bobby Charlton hairline.
That's right.
Yeah.
He died a few years ago, I think.
He died. He's passed away now, unfortunately. Ralph Coates. Yeah, but he was a good little player. Yeah, quiet chap, but he was a very good player. And he got stuck in and scored a few goals. He did score in one of the League Cup finals. I think it might have been against Norwich, was it? He
scored the winning goal. Scored the winner,
yeah. I remember him jumping around afterwards, shaking around and everything. He scored the winner. He was a good player, Ralph Coates.
There's one story, I don't know why it's the hairstyle, must remind me of it. It's a story I always heard about Jimmy Greaves. Now, changing the subject slightly. Now, I don't know whether Jimmy Greaves was playing for Chelsea or Spurs at this time, but whoever he was playing for, they were playing Bolton, right? And Bolton were the real hard nut team from up north, you know? And before the game, anyway, there was the right back, Bolton right back, was talking to the wing back in front of him, and the wing back says to him, "What'll I do if this Greaves fella gets by me?" And the fullback says back to him, "Oh, don't worry, I'll chip him back to you."
That's absolutely brilliant.
That sums up the game in those days.
It does.
Yeah, talking about Jimmy Greaves, did you like a cigarette at half time?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, cigarette at half time. He was a bit of a heavy smoker, Jimmy Greaves, wasn't he?
The gin and tonic.
Yeah, he used to like to have a cigarette at half time, didn't he? I remember, I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
that's insane.
He liked his fag at half time. Oh, yeah.
He did. That's right. I remember now. Jimmy Greaves like a cigarette at half time. Yeah.
He was the. I mean, I saw him play. I had the pleasure of seeing him a few times now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, if Jimmy Greaves was playing today, Messi would be trotting after him.
Yeah, super player. Jimmy Greaves, super player.
Big cloggy boots they wore. He was a genius, absolute genius.
Oh yeah, because we could have had him for nothing because he was at the schoolboys or he had the club, was at the club, and we let him go and Chelsea bought him.
No, that's right.
Then Chelsea sold him to
AC Milan.
AC Milan, that's it. Yeah.
And then we got him from AC Milan for 99,000 or something, 99,999 pounds.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I was going to say that was the first player to go for say 100, but we, as you say, Simon, 99,999 pound. That's what we paid. That's what we paid for Jimmy Greaves.
Yeah.
But Bill Nick did that on purpose, so he wouldn't be the first £100,000 player.
Sorry, Philip.
He kept the price at 99,999 because he didn't need to have it on his shoulders that he was the first £100,000 player.
Wow. Right. That was good. But what a player!
We have Sonia. Arthur, we have Sonia Everett here with a comment for you. Putty Power hashtag Ask Arthur virtual hug.
Yeah, that's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Sonia.
Yeah, Sonia.
Lads, questions are flying in for you guys, but we have a question here from Jack Hanicki. How have football atmospheres change in particular Spurs over the generations?
Well, I think
used to be a lot of standing at Spurs, didn't it? Many years ago, when I used to go, it used to be mainly standing. I used to stand up on the shelf side, on the upper side of the shelf. Most of the ground was like standing at the time.
That's right. It's all standing basically.
But it was like all standing when I used to go at Spurs. Hardly any seats there at all.
No, but also when I went, say when we used to sneak in the ground when we was 5 years old, and see the teams then. And first time I went with my uncle when I was 8, 10-4 against Everton and all that lot. But it was a family atmosphere down Spurs, It was a real family atmosphere. Everybody knew everybody in the little circle they were in. And that's all gone now from football. The atmosphere for your club, the passion you got for your club is just it's not the same. Everybody's got passion for the club, but it's not the same as when we was Spurs fans. Well, we are still Spurs fans, but years ago the passion was more than
you're right.
what it is now.
I think the doctors have taken away a lot of the atmosphere. I mean, you get guys turning up there on the corporate ticket asking who's playing. They wouldn't have a clue. They get an invite from the company to go to a match. That takes away the atmosphere. I think the old West End suffer badly from that. Not in the West End at all.
And grounds are all seated now, aren't they? So that takes a lot of the atmosphere away now. It's all seated grounds now.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help the atmosphere, does it?
No.
Shellside Spurs asks, do the guys remember the circumstances surrounding Big Pat Jennings joining the lot down the road?
Was not
happy. Was not happy.
No, it was my best ever goalkeeper for Spurs. Pat Jennings. He's the best goalie I've ever seen playing for Spurs.
He was.
Having gone to the Arsenal.
But I think but the worst one was Sol Campbell.
God, him.
He he got Spurs on a bit of string. Yeah, I'm going to sign. Leave it till the end of the season. I'm going to sign. And then he became the first £100,000 player a week to go to Arsenal. You know, that was really gut wrenching. You know, to do something like that to our team after what we've done for him, brought him all up and everything. That was really hit below the belt.
He hasn't had much luck since, though. Really, you know, since he retired, he's had a few failed attempts at managing teams that have been relegated or whatever. So you know, it all come. What goes around comes around. He's around now. You know. Jennings, was the money involved in Pat Jennings going? Did he ask for a pay rise? And it was the Richardsons and the Wales that were in charge of Spurs at the time.
That's right, Sydney, Sid Wale,
They'd be kind of, it's the same thing as Levy, on the same level as Levy. And they used to give it to him, and Arsenal came in and got him. You know,
that's but there was a few players that have been at Spurs and gone to the Arsenal. Willie Young, centre half. Willie Young, Jimmy Robertson, Willie Young also didn't go to the Arsenal. Willie Young, centre half, ginger hair. He went from Spurs to Arsenal, didn't he? Or was it the other way around? Willie Young.
I think it was the other way round.
Scottish
guy, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, centre half, Willie Young.
Yeah, I can't see it happening now somehow.
No.
Well, look, guys, forget about Arsenal. Let's forget about Arsenal. Back to Tottenham. Jimmy Greaves. A lot of people are putting in stuff about Jimmy Greaves here. Let's hear everything you have on Jimmy Greaves. Wayne Bonner says apparently Greaves liked the whiskey or brandy before the game, I think. Which, you know, I wouldn't put it past him now, knowing that he had an out cigarette at half time. But guys, do you think he's better than Kane? He has the goals. Is he better than Kane?
Better goal scorer, not an all-round player. No, Kane's a better all-round player, but Jimmy Greaves is definitely a better goal scorer than Harry Kane.
Yeah,
but Harry Kane's a better all-round player than Jimmy. Jimmy Greaves knew where the back of the net was.
But
Jimmy Greaves.
What's your memories on Jimmy Greaves?
Sorry.
What's your memories on Jimmy Greaves? What's your favorite
memory? I see him at I saw him at West Bromwich one time, and West Brom had a good team at the time, and Spurs were getting pounded. Spurs were useless on the road in the late 60s. You know, they really were poor. And Greaves was standing on the halfway line with about 2 minutes to go, scratching his arse. He'd done nothing the whole game. Literally, you know, he'd done nothing. So I think Mike England punted the ball up the pitch, and Jimmy was off like a rabbit after the ball. Ran 50 yards with it, rounded the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Spurs win 1-0. It's the only thing he'd done in the game. But
that's enough. That'll do.
That's the way he was. He was like lightning. He really was his speed off the mark was incredible.
Oh yeah. Especially when he had the ball at his feet, just outside the penalty area, and you know how fast he was getting in the penalty area, and then the next minute, you know, it's in the back of the net.
He was a great dribbler. You know, he could
really great dribbler. I remember. I do. Yeah.
And a fantastic goal scorer. You know, he was really a fantastic goal scorer. You know,
it wasn't a bad header of the ball either. Scored a few goals with his head. He wasn't a big player. He wasn't. He was good in the air for a little lad.
When he had Gilzine alongside him, Alan Gilzine.
Gilzine, Alan Gilzine, another very good player. Yeah.
So they talk about Jimmy having a pint at half time. I don't know if you ever read that book by Hunter Davis, The Glory Game. Came out about 1972, where he got access to the team for the year they won the UEFA Cup. But I reckon that after a match, Gilzine would be off like a shot after the match, because he said he had a wife, a car, and 2 pubs to support.
Yeah.
He most probably did.
He was a character, Jimmy Greaves. Certainly was a character.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely
the best goal scorer we've ever had. Best goal scorer I've ever seen at Spurs. Best goal scorer. Even though I only saw him towards the end of his Spurs career before he went to West Ham, he was a super player, Jimmy Greaves, super player.
You know what the saddest thing was in watching? Remember the last game at the Lane in 17, and they brought out all the players and everything. I was sitting there, what a pity Jimmy Greaves wasn't there, because he would have brought.
But he's not a well man, is he?
No, he's not a well man.
No.
Shame.
Yeah.
No.
What
very good super player.
Do you any remember John White? Have you seen things of John White?
I heard about John White. He got killed by lightning in the golf course.
Yeah, he got killed. he got killed by lightning.
Yeah.
But what a player!
Oh, he would have been world class. He would have been. He was incredible.
Oh, he was incredible.
Called the Ghost, wasn't he? Called the Ghost.
That's it.
That's what Martin Peters was called the Ghost as well when he used to play for Spurs.
Right.
Martin Peters, similar kind of player, wasn't he? He used to pop up and score. Remember Martin Peters, the kind of players to John White. Very good players.
John White was absolutely brilliant. I've seen him play,
I did hear about him.
He was magic, you know. Magic.
Shame he got killed on the golf course. Yeah,
that's right. Also, the 60 teams, you know, when they won the double, I was there when they beat Burnley. Yeah, and what a feeling that was to win the double. That I will never ever forget that feeling, winning the double.
No, I was only a couple of years old. Yeah,
and like I told David, we climbed up the tree outside the town hall when they come, and the tree was right at the balcony level.
Yeah,
and to see them all come, you know, it was. Oh man, the crowd was incredible. You know, it was all over, both sides of the street, both sides, the whole White Hart Lane, Tottenham High Road was packed. You couldn't move, and everywhere, houses along the way was all, you know, the scarves coming out, Spurs, and everybody was singing. It was just incredible to come that day to see him coming up that road. But we got up the tree, but it was incredible, absolutely incredible.
There's no tree climbing at the moment, is there?
I couldn't even climb up the bloody stairs now.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
Well, guys, what's your favourite memories from that double winning season? We'll start with Philip, and we'll work our way around.
That's the year I came in, so I suppose I'm speaking from what I've seen since on that. I think the fact that nobody done the double since, I don't know what the last time, it was 60 or 70 years before that the team had done the double, you know. And I think the fact that you had a lot, like being Irish, you had a guy like Danny Blanchflower as captain, who was, I think he was a bit like Ledley King. His knees were non-existent. He just, how he kept going when he did. I think that Danny Blanchflower was a big inspiration to a lot of the team. He kept them together, and I think Bill Nick as well. I mean, the two, like, to say that I'm just hopping slightly away from the double team, but apparently there was some European game, possibly the season after the double, where Bill Nicholson had painted up the opposition to be Supermen, absolutely unbeatable. And when he got out of the dressing room, Blanchflower gave his team talk, which is, "We'll get these bastards. They're not. We're better than they are." You know, and that was the kind of grit that we need now in the team. You know, leadership. So I think Spurs had leadership back in those days. I don't think we have it now, unfortunately. You know.
No, I fully agree with you. Just quickly, everybody that's tuning in now, make sure you have smashed a like on the stream. Make sure you do smash subscribe on the channel if you're new. Don't be afraid to get your super chats in with questions for the panel. You know, if you have any questions or if you genuinely just want to support the channel, don't be afraid to get them super chats in, guys. But Arthur, do you remember much? What's your favourite memories on the double winning season, and at what point, I suppose, did you think, this is happening, the double season will happen?
Well, I think I'm right in saying that we went 16 games unbeaten. In the the double. Spurs 16 games unbeaten, and when you got to the final, knowing that you've already got the league and that lot, and the final, you it's just mind-blowing. I can't really describe it, you know, knowing that we could be the first club for all those years to win the double when no one else has done it, you know, for ages and ages. and we could
Go on,
be the
Mark, look,
team.
you can say it. You can say it. I know your daughter's watching, but you can say it. It's the best day of your life. You can say it. It's okay.
Oh yeah, it was, yeah, it was, yeah. No, she'll understand how good I am with Spurs and that lot. No, it was the best day to see him. You know, to win it was just out of this world. It was just incredible. I can't describe it, David. The feeling I had inside, I've never had again.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to have that kind of feeling again with Spurs.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been a long time since I've had that feeling with Spurs.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a special feeling.
100%.
There's not much more. There's not much more I can say really to that. Because sorry, there's not much more I can say to that. What the boys have just said, because obviously I was only about 3 or 4, so I don't remember a great deal about it. Just remember.
You all remember running around in your diapers in front of the telly, no?
That's right. That's right. Only like what my late father used to tell me about the Spurs double side, and like they were like the best side he ever seen at the time, and you know, best team in the country, and superb players: Bobby Smith, Cliff Jones, Danny Blanchflower, Dave Mackay, Morris Norman. People like that. I heard so much about them, but unfortunately, I was only like 3 or 4 when they won the double. So too many. You know, that's what my late father and like videos that I've watched. You know, recently, just find out all about it a bit more.
Because Danny Blanchflower we got from, I think it was Aston Villa for £30,000.
Yeah,
well, it's a lot of money then, wasn't it?
Cool, it was a lot of money.
A lot of money then.
A lot of money. But he proved his worth.
Yeah.
He proved his worth.
Yeah.
Going back to the 60 teams, when Simon brought it up about they had to wear those cloggy old boots, you know, not like the carpet slippers they wear these days.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't know if you know, Arthur. Simon used to wear carpet slippers. He used to wear white boots.
I used to wear white boots when I used to play for my youth side in the mid-70s.
All right.
To play with white boots in the 70s.
Yeah.
Remember that.
So heavy as well.
And that leather ball.
With the leather ball. I used to hate those leather balls.
They had the bladder thing inside and the leather covering.
That's it.
And when that got wet, that got bloody wet. You know,
that must have been hard on the head, lads. I know you see a lot of players now suffering from dementia and it's linked to it and stuff like that. But describe, I do have a super chat there from Bob, and I do want to get to this question here from Fuse on Spurs. But describe what it was like trying to kick and header that ball around when it was raining.
Very
I could kick it all right. I could certainly kick it all right. I was the top goal scorer for my team for 2 seasons, 30, 40 odd goals a season. So I could kick it all right, the ball. But I wasn't very happy about heading it, because if you didn't head it properly, you knew about it.
Well, the laces used to be there. If you headed the laces, you knew all about it.
It was shocking, especially if it had been raining. If it was been raining or it was cold, you used to have the ball coming, you had to get your head on it. You think, oh God, really? I was hoping somebody else could head it. I didn't want to head the ball. I used to hate heading those balls. They're really terrible. They were very hard.
I should imagine it's like kicking a brick when it was wet.
It was.
Remember?
Sorry, go on.
Can you remember Bobby Smith when he used to head it and it hit the laces?
Yeah.
You know, and all the blood what used to hit and come down off of his face and.
Right. Yeah, I remember bits about that. Yeah.
He didn't go off. He just wiped it and kept playing on. Not like these days. Not like these. Referee, I've got a little scratch here.
I know.
Well, sure, after they headed the ball nowadays, and you see them in the Sky cameras fixing their fringe, and
I know,
you know what I mean. I was about to say, it must drive you mad seeing players pull out of headers and that nowadays. I'm going to just this question. I'm just going to write it down. I'm just going to keep it in mind. Who was Mr. Tottenham? Because I have 2 super chats I need to get to, and then that's a great question. I am going to ask on that. But I've just had a brainwave as well, lads, and I'm just going to put the idea to you quickly and see if you're willing to commit. But I'm going to turn this into a series. So, like, next week we'll do, like, the 70s. The week after we'll do the 80s and so on and so on. If you guys are willing to do that.
Yeah.
Like, today we'll just discuss general stuff, but then after that I think we should turn it into a series and go through decade by decade, because there's so many people in here that are absolutely loving it and, you know, loving listening to the memories and everything else. And we have Bob Spur TV. He says, true Spurs fans, even though the
thin and thin.
yeah, been through the thin and thin. The big up Bob, big up Bob, absolute legend. Big up Bob. And we have Chris Peters here with a super chat. Who was the greatest manager we ever had? Bill Nicholson, Birkinshaw, or Poch? They were all innovators for Spurs. So yeah, we'll start with Philip and work our way around the panel on this question, and you know, we'll get their thoughts and answers.
It has to be Bill Nicholson. Like, he's the guy that brought the double to Spurs. He brought numerous trophies. He brought Spurs up to a world-class team. And, you know, the other two did their bits as well. Know that Birkinshaw got us back in the after being relegated and got us to win a couple of cups, 3 cups. Pochettino, great manager, didn't win anything, unfortunately, yet. Maybe he will. But no, Bill Nicholson was years ahead of his time. He was the greatest manager Spurs ever had. In fact, I'll go as far as to say he's one of the top 3 managers ever.
Yeah, I'll get that. That.
Shankly and Busby.
Yeah,
wow.
I get that. I really do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave. I agree. Bill Nicholson, obviously, for what he done for the club. Obviously, I remember Birkinshaw for what he done also in the 80s, winning 2 or 3 trophies. And Pochettino, very good manager, played very good football, but we didn't win nothing. But yeah, Bill Nicholson, the greatest ever manager has to be Bill Nicholson, followed by Birkinshaw, then Pochettino, in that order. I agree with Chris. I think, but Nicholson, Birkinshaw, then Poch in that order.
I think it's sad to know the way Bill Nick was treated.
Oh yeah,
treated very badly by the club. Like, he wasn't sacked, but he was effectively moved sideways.
Yeah.
And they brought in Terry Neal, which was probably the greatest disaster.
An ex-Arsenal player.
Accomplished, you know, wrecked the team.
No good. Yeah. I remember Terry Neal. Yeah, Arsenal.
But for me, the greatest manager, I agree with you two gentlemen. There's only one Bill Nicholson.
Yeah.
There's only one manager what, to me, has been the greatest manager Spurs have ever had.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's right.
He was just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, he used to live at down White Hart Lane. Yeah, as you say, he used to live. I often see him when we were walking down there during the week, sometimes in his garden, and I say, hello, Bill. He always used to say hello. But yeah, I agree with the two gentlemen. Bill Nicholson, Keith Birkinshaw, because he won us a few cups. Old Keith Birkinshaw.
He certainly. That's when I used to watch him a lot. Spurs in the 80s.
Yeah, and he brought Ozzy and Villa to the club.
Yeah,
that's right.
And Poch. I know, you know, I agree with Simon. Poch ain't won nothing yet, but you know, he's a good manager.
He might come back. He could still do it with Spurs if he comes back. He still do it.
Yeah,
I think the saying Bill Nicholson came out with. Keith Birkinshaw said the night after the night of the UEFA Cup win in '74 when he was leaving. That was his last game. He said there used to be a football club in there. I think that's kind of again today, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's the same today, isn't it? Same today. There needs to be a football club there, not now.
Yeah.
Not now. No.
Not now. The joke of a club, not a football club. It's a joke of a club.
Yeah, because it
is. It's a joke.
Because Bill Nicholson was, you know, he taught us to push and run football, didn't he?
That was after Rowe, wasn't he? He started with that,
after Rowe, was it? All right. Sorry.
Rowe, then Bill Nicholson,
Yeah, but he carried it on, though, didn't he, Bill? Carried it on, you know. The old one-touch football, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah, the good old pushing on football.
I'll always remember this. It's true. When we used to sit outside the pub and wait for the players, and like I said, Dave McKine used to bring us a glass of lemonade out and a packet of crisps. The players did. I'm not going to name the players because it isn't fair. But one was saying to the other one, he said, "Oh, I went to see Bill the other day." He said, "I went to see him about a rise." So he said, "What did he say?" he said, well, when I went in there, I said to him, Bill, I think I deserve a £5 a week rise. So he said, what did he say? He said, well, on the way out, shut the door.
Yes, I remember that story. Yeah, I remember that.
That's what he told me. Shut the door on the way out.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I remember
that is
story.
brilliant, boys.
Yeah, very good story, that.
That's quality. Big up, Chris, for the super chat, my man. Really do appreciate it. Everyone else, keep getting your questions in for this great panel. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I hope everyone else is too. Keep getting the super chats in with questions for the panel. Timman007 says, breaking news, Pochettino has informed PSG President Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Sporting Director Leonardo that he wants to quit PSG. Guys, what do you make on this?
Well, he's nowhere to go now. Real Madrid's been filled, so that's positive if it's true.
Yeah, but it's going to cost a lot of money, isn't it, for Spurs to pay PSG, aren't they? It's going to be a lot of money. Yeah. They want him.
What is about 20 million? Is it 20 million?
Actually, loose change.
Yeah, that's what they're talking.
Sorry?
Loose change.
To 20 million?
God, I mean,
you can get Conte for nothing. You can get Conte for nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon for Pochettino to come back, especially with Levy being there. I don't really want Pochettino coming here, but well, Levy's in town. We had new owners to say, yeah, get him back, but not with Levy. Not with Levy, because you get Pochettino under his thumb again. And it'd be the same old, won't it? Pochettino to come back, but it's like going back to your old girl. It's too soon to come back. Perhaps 4 or 5 years down the line, then we'll be maybe come back depending on how things are going at the moment. But I think we need to get Conte in.
He's leaving himself nowhere to go now. If he wants to be at PSG, there is no job open for him if he doesn't come to Spurs. Think about it. He's only back.
Well, Everton don't have a manager.
Huh?
Yeah.
Everton haven't got a manager. I think he'd be going there now. I don't know. That's an interesting one now. Really interesting.
But,
it is.
I'd like to ask you, gentlemen, do you think Levy would have Conte, knowing how Conte is?
I think there'd be a fist fight within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, could well be. Yeah, it's a strong character, Conte, isn't he? But be very good on the old touchline, be very lively on the old touchline, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Conte.
Yeah.
The camera would be on Conte quite a bit, being on the touchline.
Yeah, but
also, down and having a go at the refs and all that.
I can see the headlines now. Police called the punch up in Spurs director's box.
100%. But big up Timman007. Really do appreciate the super chat, my man. Absolute legend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And everybody, make sure you have smashed a like on the stream and a subscribe on the channel if you're new. And like I said, I'm going to be turning this into a series. But lads, so if you could walk into the dressing room, today's dressing room right now, and you had one player that you all wanted them to play like, someone that embodies Tottenham, somebody that is Mr. Tottenham. Who are you telling them to look at, for as an example on what way they should be playing for this badge? And we'll start with Philip and work our way around the panel.
It has to be Dave Mackay. Dave Mackay embodied that was the hard man in the team. He was the guy had so many injuries. I mean, he broke his leg. I think it was 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I think in one occasion he was on his first comeback game after breaking a leg, and he broke it again.
That's correct.
So, he still kept coming back. I mean, he was I saw someone put up there about it was Ledley King, Mr. Tottenham. Ledley King was a fantastic servant, but I have to say, for me, it'll always be Dave Mackay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why Dave Mackay?
As I said, he's a great player, very skillful player. He wasn't just he was a very hard tackler. He got stuck in. I mean, he didn't take prisoners. If you're 2-1 down with 5 minutes to go, and you got Mackay roaring at you to get up there, and that's not happening with the Spurs team at the minute. They're sitting back and taking it. Mackay would never accept defeat. There's no, if they lost, it wasn't down to him not trying. He gave 100% in every game, and that radiated out to the rest of the team. I mean, there wasn't one weak link in that double team, not one. And a lot of that, it was all knitted together by Mackay. And then they even strengthened it the following year, bringing in Jimmy Greaves. You know, so no, Mackay has to be Mackay. Ledley King would be up there, but no, Dave Mackay.
100%. Just quickly, Bob Spur. No, I read it out, man. I read it out. I did read it out, Bobby. It was where you said, basically big up the panel, they're all legends, and that they've been through thick and thin with this club. Bob, don't worry, I did read it out, my man. Simon, for you, my man, who do you think embodies Tottenham?
Graham Roberts. Graham Roberts came from Weymouth. Didn't cost too much, but he was a right hard nut. He really was. Graham Roberts, super player. Used to know how to win the ball and spread it about. Scored the occasional goal, but Graham Roberts was superb. He really was. But yeah, like I said before that, Dave Mackay, but that was a little bit before my time. But Graham Roberts was one of my all-time favourite Spurs players. Then obviously Ledley King came along. But yeah, Graham Roberts, he was a superb player. We could do with some of the players like him in the team now. Used to, really get stuck in, win the ball. He's a superb player, Graham Roberts. And I think, like I said, he came from Weymouth and he didn't cost much money at all. Yeah. He was, he could play in any side at the time. He was a superb player, Graham Roberts. He was Tottenham through and through.
And you know what I like about Roberts? He went to play for Chelsea after Spurs, but now he's no time for Chelsea. He's all Spurs. He's a
Spurs man. He's a Spurs man through and through. He's always at the games. I've seen him a lot at the games. Yeah, I've met him a couple of times. He's a nice chap, and like I said, he was a tough little cookie. Graham Roberts. He's one of the best signings we've ever made.
Yeah,
for little to nothing, for hardly any money at all. From Weymouth, I believe. He was a superb player. But like I said, Ledley King came along. He was also a Spurs legend. Yeah. And not forgetting Gary Mabbott. Gary Mabbott as well. He was also a very good player, and he was a diabetic as well. So he had issues as well. But he was also Spurs through and through. But Gary Mabbott also was a top player. Yeah. Something you looked up to as well. People like that, Gary Mabbott and like I said, Graham Roberts. Obviously before that, Dave Mackay. Yeah, they were the top players. He was Spurs through and through.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Arthur, what about yourself, man?
It's got to be Dave Mackay first and foremost. He like Phillip said, he'd break his leg and still carry on, if you know what I mean. He'd carry it around with him.
Yeah.
He was just so incredible, was Dave Mackay. If he cut himself, it bled Tottenham. That's how much he was Tottenham. And
that's right.
Like Simon said, Graham Roberts was another hard man in the defence there. And the other player I liked as well was Alan Mallory.
Yeah.
But in that order, Dave Mackay, Graham Roberts, and Alan Mallory.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Look, a lot of people talk about Dave Mackay, so let's all just talk a bit about Dave Mackay. Because a lot of people always mention him. What was it about him? Like, I know you're saying he was hard as nails and stuff like that, but what is it that he just wouldn't roll over no matter what? He would always just get up and go again. That never say die attitude.
Yeah, that's it. Like, he came down to Spurs from, I think it was from Hearts. He played for Hearts, Scotland. Yeah, and he was a known. I'd say he was a Goebbels lad. He was from he didn't come from the right side of the tracks anyway. He had a hard upbringing, and that epitomised his game. I mean, he was a tough guy, tough but fair. Is that the way to put it? And. Played a lot of time for Scotland as well. I think he was the mainstay of the Scottish team as well, And I think he was just in the right team at the right time, where Spurs got the best out of him. Okay, his best years were behind him when he went to Derby, but he still had a very successful term there, And I actually think that he owned a shop in Tottenham that sold ties.
Yeah, ties, I think.
Shop. Like, a lot of players had little sidelines in those days, to make the money they were getting, because, they weren't paid very well.
No.
Compared to today's boys,
Yeah.
And, they had a tie shop. But no, as I said, he's and I mean, if I had to put a picture, one soccer picture on my wall, it's the one of him with Bremner by the shirt.
Yeah, that's a famous picture. Yeah.
And he wasn't even
White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
He got away with it.
Yeah.
Bob Spar puts in a great question. He says, I realise not all of you have seen him play, but would Jimmy Greaves be breaking records in today's game?
Yeah.
Yes.
He'd be right up there. God, yeah, he'd be right
of course
up.
he would.
Definitely.
He would.
He
He would.
right up there. Pitches and the light boots. Jimmy Greaves would be scoring 50th season, 40th season anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you play for Man City, he'd have a field day.
Yeah. They would.
He'd have a field day playing for Manchester City.
He would. De Bruyne behind him. Good God.
De Bruyne behind and Jimmy Greaves up top. Yeah, they'd win everything with him up front.
Yeah. No, he was incredible.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the goal they show against Man United? They show it a lot. It was a match of the day where he swiveled and beats about 3 players in the space of 10 yards.
I was there. I saw that. I was standing up on the shelf. I was on the shelf. I was up on the shelf. One of my first ever games, late 60s. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, went from the halfway line, beat 3 or 4 players and just stuck it in. Yeah. I remember that. It's one of my first ever memories being, watching Spurs, Jimmy Greaves scoring that wonderful goal.
Kenneth Wolf doing the commentary on BBC. Yeah.
And also I remember Jimmy Greaves scoring a good header against Derby at the Park Lane end. Ball came across and he got his head on it. It went into the corner. Yeah, I remember Jimmy Greaves scoring a couple of top goals.
Yeah,
towards the end of his Spurs career.
Debut. He scored in every debut he was in. Isn't that right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Steve Brum Hamilton says Jimmy had legs like Michael Owen and goals like Harry Kane.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah. And he had a brain as well. He was very aware of what was going on around him. He was good.
Oh, he's the best ever player, Jimmy Greaves, top player.
Yeah.
And those heavy sandy pitches as well. It was very hard to run.
Yeah.
Today he'd be unstoppable. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, crikey. Yeah.
Oh, he'd be unstoppable now. He'd be well away, wouldn't he? Be well away. Nobody would stop him.
Touch him. No. As I've said, he waited outside that penalty area, didn't he? He got the ball. You knew then it was going to go in the back of the net.
Yeah.
As soon as he got that ball outside the penalty area or inside the penalty area, that was it. It was a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just quickly, how much would Jimmy Greaves be worth now?
Oh,
good.
More than Harry Kane's worth.
150 million.
Well, it'd be worth about 150 million, Jimmy Greaves. It'd be worth more than Harry. He's saying he's worth more than Harry Kane would be. It'd be worth more than Harry Kane if he was playing now, Jimmy Greaves.
He scored. Like I don't think anyone's ever going to touch Jimmy Greaves' goal scoring record for Spurs.
Yeah, no.
So I put him worth more than good.
Harry Kane, more than Harry Kane.
Yeah, slightly more.
Yeah, because in those days when Jimmy Greaves was playing, they had real hard, dirty defenders as well, didn't they? You know what I mean? It wasn't all pretty football, was it? It was like elbows, kicks, and Christ knows what. And to him to score as many goals as he did was just incredible. And like you said, on those pitches as well, because he was only a little light man, but he was just incredible. And I think he would be at least 150 plus.
Oh, easy.
150 million plus.
Easy.
Today's players, right? Sorry, the 60s players on today's pitches, and allowed them to tackle the way they did back in the 60s. Each match is finished with about 2 players on the pitch.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be nobody left, Yeah,
there'll be no one left.
Mike Dean.
Because I remember, like, the Leeds team had a hard team, didn't they? Billy
in the 70s, I remember him in the 70s. Johnny Giles, Jack Charlton, Norman Hunter, Paul Reaney.
Norman Hunter. Yeah, they had, but
Terry Cooper.
But when they played Spurs, in that famous picture of Mackay getting hold of Billy Bemra, Spurs went through them like a dose of salt that day, and it was hard. It's hard to go through hard players, but as you say, if they was playing today, I think one of them. I think one of them would have been sent off within 3 minutes.
Of course, they would be a straight red card.
Warm up. Like Steve says here, Neymar wouldn't last back in that.
No. Neymar wouldn't last. No.
Oh,
not playing
no,
five-a-side football.
yeah. Oh, cry.
Yeah,
Big
But
those
lads,
were the days.
I had a great question in there. Someone was he wants to know what generation. Big up Paul Gregory. He wants to know what generation would you guys have liked to play in?
A successful one for Spurs, so that rules out the C's anyway. So
well, probably the 80s. The 80s, I think I would like to play.
Yeah,
the 80s.
I'm
With
just
Glenn
going to leave
Hoddle
you
playing.
there for a second, lads. I need to go and get that fan and plug it in. I'm absolutely melting
Yeah,
here.
go on then.
You just keep chatting away, boys.
Yeah. The 80s. I'd love to play in the 80s with Glenn Hoddle behind, putting the ball over, me being a centre forward. I loved all that, running onto Glenn Hoddle's passes.
yeah,
Putting the ball
I think
Yeah.
the
80s, yeah.
The 60s is probably a bit too agricultural. I mean, you kicked around a lot.
Yeah.
70s with the relegation wasn't a great decade. The end of it was.
No.
I think the 80s, because the 90s and has been kind of a bit sterile for us, really.
Nothing happened in the 90s except for the cup final 91. No. But the 80s, the early 80s, 81, 82 to 84, and Hoddle was around. And Ozzy Ardiles was there as well.
Yeah.
I'd love to have been playing in that team. I really would.
Writing down something. There was
I think I'd like to be in the 60s, Odd.
No,
Where
okay.
it was really hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
there was an event.
Fair enough.
There was an event that took place in the 70s for Spurs, and if it had gone a different way, I think our whole history would have changed. I remember back in, now this is jumping a decade here, but we'll go anyway. 1978, the only season that we were in Division 2.
Yeah,
I was with my fiance at the time. We went over and we got tickets for the last home match of the season in the second division against Hull. And this is where Billy Bremner comes in. Billy Bremner was playing for Hull at the end of his career on this one, right?
Was it? I didn't know that. Okay.
Spurs had slipped to fourth in the league, and we're in danger of not going up. And we were pounding away at Hull, and they had 30 corners during the match until the very last 10 minutes. Chris Jones flattened the goalkeeper at the corner, literally flattened him. And Steve Perryman put the ball in the net, and the referee gave
Steve Perryman, love Steve Perryman.
If that goal had been disallowed, we would not have been promoted, and we wouldn't have got Ricky Gillett and Ozzy Ardiles.
Yeah.
It shows you one decision probably shaped our future for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
Also, just quickly talking about Ozzy Ardiles, I think Ozzy Ardiles wouldn't have come to Spurs unless if Ricky Villa didn't come with him, Ardiles wouldn't have come.
He wanted it.
He said, I'm not coming unless you bring Ricky with me.
That was the way it was.
He wouldn't come on his own. He wanted Ricky Villa to come with him.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember that in the 78 they turned up, didn't they?
That's
I remember
correct.
that.
She went to see the first game in Dublin against Bohemians as a friendly.
Then they played Forest, wasn't it? The first game of the season, Forest away.
But there was a famous article written by an Irish journalist after that friendly against Bohemians where he reckoned Ardiles was too lightweight. He'd never make it in the Premiership.
But they said that about Luka Modric.
Yeah.
He was too lightweight. He was one of the best players we've ever had.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Ardiles was a good player. Very good player, Ozzy Ardiles.
Yeah. Did many people remember Mike England?
Yeah, centre half. Yeah. He played with Dave Mackay, didn't he? Dave Mackay, Mike England, also a very good centre half.
Yeah. We've had some good centre halves there.
Richard Goff. I remember Richard Goff. He was there for one season, and he went back to Glasgow Rangers, didn't he? And he lived for about a year.
That's right. Yeah.
Good player, Richard Goff.
Yeah.
Just up there thinking about it. Imagine having VAR back in the 60s. I say every game, American football game, be stopping and starting every 2 minutes.
Oh, that's real. I know.
100%. 100%, lads. But look, anything else you want to talk about before we end off, lads?
What's your views on Martin Chivers? He was one of my all-time favourite players, Martin Chivers.
Very good.
He was one of the best centre forwards we ever had, Martin Chivers. Him and Gilzine were superb together.
The goal he scored against Wolves in the 72.
Brilliant. That Molyneux, wasn't it? Molyneux. I remember that.
I mean, it's lucky that didn't break the net. I mean, it was just
superb. He was the best centre forward in Europe at the time.
Oh, he was great. And he still
come from Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah, come from Southampton.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Got him from Southampton.
Superb player, Martin Chivers. Him and Alan Gilzine were very good together, like Archibald and Crooks.
Years, really, when you think of it. And then Terry Booth.
Terry Booth.
Remember him? I don't know where they signed him from, but he's a bit of a butt of a joke. You mentioned Spurs, the poor forwards that played for Spurs. Everyone thinks of Jerry Booth.
Oh, we had a few daft forwards, haven't we, over the years?
And the ginger.
Harry Winks now. Harry Winks is the modern day player. But
Harry Winks, yeah.
Lappers 82. Do any of you guys get to see the game where Maradona played in the Spurs shirt? Before you answer that, just quickly, Bob.
I was there.
Bob, you have to be on the pension, Bob, if you want to come on, my man. I don't want to mess. You can come on the next one. I'm only messing with you. But yeah, sorry. Back there, did any of you get to see the game where Maradona played?
Yes, I was there. I was there. Was you there? Simon? You was there.
I was there.
Yeah, so was I.
Lower west side, lower tier, the west side.
I was
the west side at the Park Lane in lower west side. I was there. I saw Maradona. Yeah, I remember that. 1984, 85. It was
87.
It was brilliant that night. It was
remember
brilliant.
Maradona. Yeah, he was a superb player. One of the best players I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Maradona.
Yeah. No one could get near him, could they? That night, it was like watching a magician. Play football.
Yeah,
that's how it was that night. Watching a magician play football.
Yeah, he was one of the best players I've ever seen. One of the best players I've ever seen. Maradona.
You know, something else.
Yeah, Maradona. Shame what happened to him, but yeah, top player.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, what I'm going to do is, because honestly, there's been so many people in the chat and everything else. So what I'll do is over the next couple of days or over the next week, people, if you want questions, please, get your questions, send them in on Twitter to me, send them to my email address. It's on in the description below. And get your questions in. Like I said, this is going to be a series now. So get your questions in for these great guys here, you know, and we'll put them to them for everybody next week. So we will 100%. But before we, just one last question I have for you, and it's really what Paul Gregory says here, is between all of you, could you pick an ultimate Spurs 11 throughout the years you have supported them?
Well, it's got to be Pat Jennings in goal for a start.
Yeah.
Arthur, do you agree with Pat Jennings?
Yeah, definitely.
Jennings has
Phillip?
to be.
Yeah.
Right back. Who'd the right back be?
Did Alf Ramsey play right back?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was a top player. He was a top player for Spurs, wasn't he, Alf Ramsey?
Yeah. So I go for Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker, yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, Kyle Walker, yeah.
And probably centre half, Mike England would be one of them anyway.
Yeah, Mike England.
And Dave Mackay alongside him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dave Mackay.
Yeah.
And left back.
Chris Hughton was a superb left back. Chris Hughton. Or Cyril Knowles.
What about Cyril Knowles?
Also a very good player. Yeah. If you come down the line, Cyril Knowles is a top left back as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, how's this for an idea, Dave? What if we all put our heads together, did an individual best 11 over the next week and brought it this week?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You see how many we agree on, how many we disagree on.
Yeah, we will do that. We will do that 100%. Because honestly, guys, you know, the reaction is off the chain. Your best show yet, you know, great show. We have Chris. You need to do this more often. Great show. My memory's like for all the older guys. You know what I mean? People wanted to get involved. It's absolutely insane, guys. People are absolutely loving the show. It's insane. So what we'll do is, you know, we'll end this off here. You know, everyone has dinner and everything else to be getting, and you know, everyone has to tuck the missus into bed and everything else. You know yourselves. So look, what we'll do is, guys, we're going to end this off here. But I want to say to everybody out there, I promise I'm going to make this a weekly thing. If the boys all agree to it, you know, we'll make this a weekly thing where, you know, like Philip was saying there, next week we'll get them to all put their all-time 11 together, you know, and plus we'll go through like decades, like, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, stuff like that with these guys. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to turn this into a series. So for all you guys out there, I promise with you, this will be back. I want to say a massive thank you to you, Philip, to you, Simon, and to you, Arthur, for really making this show. But just quickly, Arthur, do you know how many subs you're on?
No, 200 and something.
Right. Well, look, everybody, The link for Ask Arthur, which is Arthur's YouTube channel, is in the description below this video. Make sure that you guys, you get over and you smash the subscribe on Arthur's channel. You show him the support that he deserves. I hope Arthur doesn't mind me saying this, but for a man of Arthur's age to come and to get out there and start a YouTube channel is very, very rarely seen. I want everyone to get behind this guy and really give him the support he deserves. I really do.
Arthur, well done. Good man.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
Guys, Philip, thank you. Philip, I hope you've enjoyed today's show, my man.
Yeah, great. Oh, yeah. This is great. Marvelous. Great stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Arthur, did you enjoy today's show?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. Seeing the two gentlemen here talking about old times. It's great. It's
the good old days. The good old days.
Yeah, it just brings the memories flooding back to you. You know, the happy days, the memories, and the happy days. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the days when we used to be successful. I was only for everybody watching. I was actually only saying to the lads. So before we came on, they were talking about trophies and everything else. I was saying to them, I was like, "Stop it! You're making me jealous. You have to stop this. You're making me jealous." But it's also important for because there's this hysteria around Tottenham at the minute, lads. That Tottenham have never won anything. Tottenham, you know what I mean? Tottenham have never had success. Tottenham, and people tend to forget about the history. I think it's actually more important that we put shows out like this. There's not enough of them out there, that we put shows out like this and show some of these fans that we did used to, we did have history, did used to win trophies, we did used to do things right once. And it's about getting back to that stage.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. But Simon, did you enjoy today's show, man?
Loved it. Loved every minute. Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Arthur. Thoroughly enjoyed meeting up with you.
Arthur, great.
It's been superb. I look forward to the next show.
Yeah, it's fantastic to meet up with you two. Two old Spurs supporters like me. Fantastic.
And Arthur, just before we do go, do you want to tell everyone why they should get over to your channel and subscribe?
Well, I'm not the greatest YouTuber. As you say, I'm an old YouTuber, the oldest one out there, I think. But
no, I didn't say you're an old YouTuber. I said someone of your age to start a YouTube channel is brave.
But I just tell the truth. I just tell it as it happened to me, and I just do my thing. That's it. I just do my thing. And that's it.
Sounds like me. Do your thing, yeah. Say what you think.
Yeah, say what I think,
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah, that's how it should be. And I just want people to come on and just hear what I've got to say regarding the Spurs. It could be good, and it could be bad. But that's what I just enjoy, telling people how I feel and my story, what's happening to Spurs, my feelings about the managers and all this lot. That's why I just started it, David, because it was you as well. You said to me, go and do it. So
and he's done it.
Well, you asked my opinion on it. You already wanted to do it. You just asked my opinion on it.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, I'm going to encourage everyone.
Yeah.
That's good. But, good for you, Arthur. Good for you, mate.
Chris Peter wants to know when you're on next, Arthur.
What's today?
Monday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Sorry.
About Wednesday or about Thursday, I should imagine. Thursday.
Yeah. But there you are, Chris.
Oscar's asked to leave, yeah.
Yeah.
He can come back.
Just get everyone's thoughts on it quickly.
Yeah, let him come back. As long as Levy's not there to greet him, he can do. Levy can go and Potts can come back. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Just one quick question to everybody. How long do you think, and do you think that Joe Lewis would sell the club? Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, if he gets the money he wants for it, yeah, why not?
Jeff Bezos or somebody comes in with a mega offer. Possibly, but other than that, I can't see it.
But you still got Daniel Levy sitting around, haven't you, with his 32% or whatever, which is about 400 million or something, whatever it is. I don't know.
The naming rights haven't been sold after 2 years. That's worrying.
No, that's another joke, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So we've got no stadium.
But I did hear that somehow from the Americans or something like that, Levy's got the money to pay the stadium loan what we had off the government.
50 million. He borrowed.
Yeah. They've got some more money from somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah. Not the Bank of England loan was not for player purchase.
No, it wasn't.
No. It won't be going towards players. It won't be going towards players. That.
But this loan is attached apparently, so you can pay off the Bank of England and still have money left.
Yeah,
it's rob Peter to pay Paul.
More or less, it's frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, I know.
How much do you think Spurs are worth?
A couple of billion.
2 billion, maybe.
Sorry, how much?
I'd say about 2.5 billion.
Yeah, over 2 billion. Over 2 billion, easy. Over 2 billion. What are you thinking about buying them, Arthur?
Yeah, I've got 3 pence here towards it.
All right then.
Well, the stadium's worth 1 billion, so it's 1 billion for the rest of it, you know.
That's right. So looking at 2 billion. Yeah, we'll have a whip round.
Yeah,
we'll have a whip round,
and we're all going to be on the board.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll make the tea.
Vote you, Chairman.
I'll be the tea maker.
I'll make the sandwiches.
What can Philip do?
What are you making? Simon's on tea, Arthur's on sandwiches. What are you bringing to the board?
What are you going to bring, Philip, to the board?
I'll probably bring a mug of cold coffee or something to throw it on Levy.
Yeah. Philip can bring the drinks, the beer and the spirits for half time.
I don't drink at all, so I'll just as well being a Spurs fan. But anyway.
But I can't help but thinking the three years need to meet up and go and see a game together and have a right out laugh, a few drinks and whatever else.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we're stuck with Enoch, aren't we? They're not going anywhere soon. We're going to be stuck with him for quite a while, I'm afraid. Thinking about it seriously, not going anywhere soon.
No,
but what can you do?
Well, all we can wish and hope for is happier days.
Can't get any worse.
No,
cyclical. I mean, listen, 1977 was the lowest point when we got relegated.
We got relegated. That's my lowest point up until now. Yeah,
I know that was worse.
I get that.
That was worse.
Yeah, definitely right on that one, Philip. 77 was a bad year, but this is also bad, isn't it? Bad.
You know, the only thing about that season is we got promoted on goal difference, right?
Yeah.
9 goals better than Brighton, who were managed by Alan Mullery at the time. So there's another Spurs connection. But we got up by 9 more than Brighton, and that's what we beat Bristol Rovers 9-0.
Yeah. Colin Lee scored, wasn't it? Colin Lee. Colin Lee got 5.
4.
No, he got 4. Colin Lee against Bristol Rovers.
Did he get 4 goals or 5 goals on this?
It might be 5. Colin Lee, I remember it wasn't a bad centre forward.
Ian Moore's got 3, and he's died since as well.
He's dead now. Yeah, another one passed away, unfortunately. Colin Lee.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he's not with us anymore, Colin Lee. Yeah.
So that's that. Alan Mullery was left sitting in the second division because his beloved Spurs beat him to promotion.
Yeah.
I know.
But look, lads, we're going to end it up here. It's been a great, it's been, what would you call it? A great little insight into what's to come. That's what I'm going to say. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad you've all enjoyed it. And like I said, it's going to be a series. You want to put your questions to me, hit me up at the Irish Way on Twitter. Put your questions in for the next show. Also, hit me up on my email at theirishyid@gmail.com. If there's anyone that's watched and you would like to come on and chat with the boys and share memories, just let me know. Just email me. I'm sure we can sort it out. The boys are friendly and I don't bite either. So look, it's been fantastic. Honestly, it's been great listening to it. It's everything I wanted it to be. Just listening to you all talking about the old days and bringing back good memories and positive memories. Especially with what's going on around the club now. So honestly, you 3 guys, you're all legends. I really appreciate it. And until next time, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Bye.
Cheers, lads.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.